In Matthew 2:2 it's read saying, "Where is he that is born King of the Jews? For we have seen his star in the east, and are come to worship him." When Herod the king had heard these things, he was troubled, and all Jerusalem with him. The word all Jerusalem means those who are in leadership in Jerusalem. Because Herod the king was surrounded by all these prestigious people in Israel, especially the Sanhedrin, the 70 leaders of Israel. This is an example of the union between church and state at the time of Jesus, and it's dangerous. Because here we have the Magi who are looking for the King of the Jews, and they were talking to him face to face. That's why he was troubled. That means something's wrong. You know? How come they know about this coming king? And the birth of this King of the Jews is really troubling, especially for Herod. That means he was on his way out. Okay, so this is the first mention about the star of Jesus, which is in the east. In the east means in the rising. That means before the sun goes up, this star will, or planet will rise ahead of the sun. That's the rising of the star. The star of Jesus is essentially Jupiter, the king planet. It has a diameter 11 times that of Earth and a mass more than 300 more than Earth, which is greater than twice the sum of all the other planets. Nevertheless, its mass is less than 1,000 that of the Sun. So definitely Jupiter is the heaviest of all the planets, you know, and its mass is twice the mass of all the planets combined. So really Jupiter is a big one. So it qualifies as the star of Jesus. The star of Jesus is not a comet, okay, but it's rather Jupiter. Now let's see what date is the rising of Jupiter above the sun in the east. On July 19, 3 BC, a Friday, Julian date 172027. That's a Friday, that's Sabbath already, the day of Sabbath because it's sunset already. You can see that the sun is on the constellation Leo. Leo is the constellation of Jesus, of the Messiah. And you can see that the sun is below the horizon while Jupiter is rising up. This is in the eastern part of your calendar or on your place in Israel, Jerusalem. On the right is the constellation, the snake, and the crab or Cancer is actually the 10 crowns. You know, the 10 crowns and the two pinchers, including the two pinchers of Satan. You know, so serpents is the longest constellation, and it comprises a third of the sky, evening sky. So from its rising at like here, as it's rising in the east at about 6 o'clock, it will not end until 8 p.m. in the afternoon. On September 13, 3 BC, at 5:41 a.m. in the morning, and it's Friday, you can see Jupiter and Regulus, the brightest star in the constellation Leo, seems to be together. This is what we call the conjunction of a planet with a star. And this time it's the star Regulus with the planet Jupiter. And Jupiter is in Leo, the lion of the tribe of Judah. On November 19, 3 BC, on Tuesday, Julian date 1720650, you can see Jupiter standing still in the midst or in the middle of Leo. In several days, Jupiter seems not moving at all, and this causes the attention of many of those who like to watch the sky, because basically that's their TV station at night, the night sky. So at the time, about 3 days to 4 days, Jupiter was not moving at all in the middle of Leo, the lion of the tribe of Judah. On February 16, 2 BC, Sunday, Julian date 1720739, we have an amazing thing that happened is that the Jupiter and Regulus came back in conjunction again after the Jupiter made a retrograde motion. It looks like it's opposite in its direction. And also at this time, at 3:41 p.m., there is a conjunction of the moon at Jupiter and Regulus also. So this is an important date, February 16, 2 BC. The three heavenly bodies are in conjunction in the heart of Leo. This must be very exciting for the Magi because they knew something is dancing in the heavens. Exactly two lunar months again on the year 2 BC, April 11, 2 BC at 7:41 p.m. Day of the week is Friday, Julian date 1720793, and you can see the moon is again near Jupiter, but at this time Jupiter stands still again, and this is the time that Jupiter will switch from retrograde motion that is going back like in a gravity to another that follows the science of the stars. That is, they all follow the same path. On May 9, 2 BC, we have the last and the third Jupiter-Regulus conjunction, and we have the moon again. So the moon is the one that, like, it's signed by Jupiter, that he is the real witness to the events leading to the birth of Jesus. And this one is May 9, 2 BC, Julian date 1720, 821. It's Friday again. So really something must be going on in the minds of the Magi. On August 22 BC, we have the third Jupiter-Regulus conjunction. No, not conjunction, but this is the second time Jupiter was rising in the east above the rising sun. And the date is August 20, 2 BC, Julian date 1720-924, and the day of the week is Wednesday. So just like in the year 3 BC, we have another rising on August 20, 2 BC, at sunrise. Five days later, on August 25, 2 BC, Monday, we have the conjunctions of planet Jupiter, Mars, Mercury, and Venus on the side, rising in the east before sunrise. And that brings us to the coming Tishri one, wherein we just wait for the moon to come on the constellation Virgo, with the sun on Virgo also. On August 31, 2 BC, Sunday, and Julian date 1720935, the Magi decided to start their walk, their pilgrimage towards Bethlehem. And they choose this date because this is the 1 year anniversary of the birth of Jesus. And you know that the event always occurs 11 days later. So the year 3 BC, Tishri one is September 11. That's why on 2 BC it's August 31, 11 years later. The Magi arrived in Jerusalem at winter solstice, and it is Kislev 25 Monday, December 21 Sunday, and they know about the feast of the Jew, Hanukkah, and they were all like in a festive mood because it's a winter festival, and everybody was in a joyful mode, and the Magi were very surprised about their nice reception. So they arrive and pitch their tent in the city and look around on December 21, 2 BC. At the time, Jesus was already 1 year and 3 months old. And you can see the moon is on the pinchers of Scorpio, Satan, and something must be going on within a few days. So on December 21, 2 BC, after walking 111 days from August 31, 2 BC, that is Tishri 1 to the day of dedication of the temple, that was during the time of the Maccabees, the Magi entered into Jerusalem and pitched their tent and wondered of all the holiday festivities that's going around Jerusalem. Everybody is in a happy mood. This same event was captured in the life of Jesus when he was asked during the winter festival that the Jews asked him, if you are Christ, tell us plainly, if you are the Messiah, tell us plainly. And that was the time that they almost tried to kill him, because he gave them the answer and still they don't believe. But this time, this is the time of the Magi proving to us that Jesus was really born in Israel by their visit. In Matthew 2:8 it reads, "And he sent them, Herod sent them to Bethlehem and said, Go and search diligently for the young child. And when you have found him, bring me word again, that I may come and worship him also." When they heard the king, they departed, and lo, the star, which they saw in the east, went before them, till it came and stood over where the young child was. And when they saw the star, they rejoiced with exceeding joy. The word "and stood" over where the young child was. It's like the child, as seen in the horizon, stood where the young child was. If you are in the Jerusalem area, the 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 city of Bethlehem is like southwest of Jerusalem. And the only possible way for that is it's early in the morning, and the star Jupiter was almost in the daylight, can be seen standing over the Jerusalem area. No, Bethlehem area, as seen from the Jerusalem, the city of Jerusalem. And the time that the star, they have seen him, it going up, They saw, and lo, the star which they saw in the east went before them. That's the rising of Jupiter in the eastern sky late in the evening. So we will look at our astronomy software, what day and time these things occurred. So the date is Christmas Eve 2 BC, this December 24, and it's Wednesday. And the Julian date is 1721050. And you can see Jupiter rising in the eastern sky, like the rising of the sun during morning. And maybe they have a limit of up to 10:30, or the last cock crow, the rooster call at night. That's the last time that all parties will be like stopped. So that's the time that the Magi left the palace of Herod and came out of the porch, and they saw Jupiter rising in the east. And they were all in happy mode after that when they saw the Jupiter star. Maybe that's include Herod. He was overjoyed seeing Jupiter because he knows he's going to get the young king. So this is December 25, 2 BC, early in the morning before sunrise, and you can see the sun is on the left side below the horizon, and the planet Jupiter is on Virgo, and you can see it's looking south. It's almost like south southwest, in the middle of south southwest, and that's where the Bethlehem area is located as viewed from Jerusalem. So this is the time of Christmas morning. This is the map from Jerusalem to Bethlehem, and you can see that Bethlehem is like directly south of Jerusalem. At the time Jesus was born, it says that the place was full, so they have no place to go to. So the only possible way is they move a little bit to the west, western area, a little bit, just like the stars did. So the planet Jupiter appeared to the Magi. It's a little bit to the west. southwest. So it might be Jesus was born not in the Bethlehem area because it was full at the time, but in the suburb of Bethlehem, it's Beit Jala, which is the hill, you know. Many times Jesus referred to this as the hill, the light on the top of the hill. This is a very ancient city, and mostly Christians lived there at the time of the, what you call this one, at the time of the early history of Christianity. And you have a lot of Christian churches there. By just looking at the picture of Beit Jalai, it is a hill, you know, and this is a reference of Jesus that nobody hides a light when you are in a hill, you know. You let the light out so many people will see it. And this is the place where Jesus Christ was born, and they live afterwards, like up to the time that they live in a house. So Beit Jalai is like a place where people, they planted a lot of bread. Bait means a house, you know, and Jala means like like grass, you know. So it was said that this place produced a lot of grains at the times of Jesus. It's a very productive area wherein they make use of irrigation a lot. There might be a spring on the top of this hill, and you can see that this is nowadays a Palestinian part of the Palestinian territory, and a lot of Palestinians are Christians, you know. So referring to the why did the Magi look towards Jerusalem, from Jerusalem to Bethlehem? How did they see Bethlehem? What they saw is the hill that is protruding out of Bethlehem area. That's why they know that's the house where Jesus Christ was born, because it's on a hill. They can see it in the hill. Right after Sabbath, on December 27, 2 BC, the Magi took Mary, Joseph, and Jesus, and they traveled toward Egypt to escape after warning them of the danger ahead. So that's Saturday evening, that's when they started to move out, and they dressed them all as Magi's, part of the Magi traveling companions. So they went to Egypt and with the Magi. So the next day, on December 28, early in the morning, that's when they order from Herod to kill all the children in Bethlehem 2 years and below, according to the rising of Jupiter in the eastern sky in 3 BC to 2 BC. And they have like 1.5 year of a safety plan, you know. So they took the 2 years and below. So every December 28 is called like April Fool's Day, because the Magi were able to fool Herod. And also, they, up to now, they call this date as Niños Inocentes, December 28, and in memory of those who were killed by Herod in search of the promised Messiah, the coming Messiah.